Hello, I hope that you're ready for our next instalment of Billionaire Boy. So yesterday, a Twix wrapper had been found when Joe was doing his litter picking. Probably the one he himself had dropped on the ground earlier that day. Well, I guess everyone knows how rich you are now, Joe, said Bob. Sorry about that. Yeah, I guess so. I suppose now all the kids at the school are going to want to be your friend, said Bob quietly. When Joe looked at him, Bob turned away. Maybe, Joe smiled, but it means more that we were friends before everyone knew. Bob grinned. Cool, he said. Then he pointed to the ground at his feet. You missed another bit there, Joe. Thanks, Bob, sighed Joe as he bent down again, this time to pick up the crisp packet his friend had just dropped. Oh no, said Bob. What's the matter? Grubs. Where? Over by the bike shed. What do they want? Lurking behind the shed were the twins. When they spotted Joe and Bob, they waved. I don't know what was worse, continued Bob, being bullied by them or being invited around for tea. Hello, Bob, shouted one grub as they started lolloping towards them. Hello, grubs, Bob called back wearily. The two bullies reached where the boys were standing. We've been thinking, continued the other. We're going on a camping trip at the weekends. Would you like to come? Bob looked at Joe for help. A camping holiday with these two was not an inviting invitation. Oh, what a terrible shame, said Bob. I'm busy this weekend. Next weekend? Asked Grub One. That one too, I'm afraid. The one after that? Asked the other. Completely, stammered Bob. Chock full of things I've got to do. So sorry. It sounded so much fun. Anyway, see you two tomorrow. Sorry, I'd love to chat, but I have to help Joe with his litter duty. Bye. Any weekend next year? Asked the first grub. Bob stopped. Next year's really busy for me, so I'd really love to, but I'm so sorry. How about the year after? Asked Grub 2. Any free weekends? We have a lovely tent. Bob couldn't keep it in any longer. Look, one day you're bullying me. The next you're inviting me to spend the whole weekend with you in the tent. What on earth is going on? The grubs looked to Joe for help. Joe, said one of them. We thought it would be easy being nice to Blob, said the other, but he just says no to everything. What do you want us to do, Joe? Joe coughed, not very subtly, but the grubs didn't seem to get the hint. You paid them not to bully me, didn't you? Demanded Bob. No, replied Joe unconvincingly. Bob turned to the grubs. Did he demanded. No, yes, said the grubs. We mean yes, no. How much did he pay you? The grubs looked at Joe for help, but it was too late. They were all busted. £10 each, said a grub. And we saw the helicopter, Spud. We're not stupid, we want more cash. Yeah, continued the other. You're going in the bin, Joe, unless you give us £11 each, first thing tomorrow. The grub stomped off. Bob's eyes filled with angry tears. You think money is the answer to everything, don't you? Joe was baffled. He had paid off the grubs to help Bob. He was utterly perplexed as to why his friend was so upset. Bob, I was just trying to help you. I'm not some charity case, you know. I know that. I was just... Yes? I just didn't want to see you put in the bin again. Right, said Bob, so you thought it'd be better if the grubs were really weird and friendly and going on about camping trips? Well, they sort of came up with a camping trip on their own, but yes. Bob shook his head. I can't believe you. You're such a spoilt boy. What? Said Joe. I was just helping you out. Would you rather be put in the bin and have your chocolate stolen? Yes, shouted Bob. Yes, I would. I'll fight my own battles, thank you. Suit yourself, said Joe. Have fun being dumped in the bin. I will, replied Bob before storming off. Loser, shouted Joe, but Bob didn't turn back. Joe stood alone. A sea of litter surrounded him. He stabbed at a Mars bar with his litter stick. He couldn't believe Bob. He thought he'd found a friend, but all he'd really found was a selfish, bad-tempered, ungrateful plume fizz. Chapter 12. Page 3 Stunner. And the witch still made me do litter duty, said Joe. He was sitting with his dad at one end of the highly polished 1,000-seater dining room table, waiting for his dinner. Impossibly large diamond candelabras hung overhead, and paintings that weren't very nice but cost millions of pounds adorned the walls. Even after I dropped your homework off in the chopper, said Mr. Spud angrily. Yeah, it was so unfair, replied Joe. I did not invent a double-sided moist dry toilet tissue for my son to be put on litter duty. I know, said Joe, that Miss Spite is so horrible. I am going to fly to the school tomorrow and give that teacher of yours a piece of my mind. Please don't, Dad. It was so embarrassing when you turned up today. Sorry, son, said Mr. Spud. He looked a little hurt, which made Joe feel guilty. I was just trying to help. Joe sighed. Just don't do it again, Dad. It's so awful everyone knowing I'm the son of the bum-fresh man. Well, I can't help that, boy. That's how I made all this money. That's why we're living in this big house. Yeah, I guess, said Joe. Just don't come turning up in your bum air helicopter or anything, yeah? Okay, said Mr. Spud. So how's that friend of yours working out? Bob? He's not really my friend anymore, replied Joe. He hung his head a little. Why's that? Asked Mr. Spud. I thought you and him were getting on really well. I paid off these bullies to help him, said Joe. They were making his life a misery, so I gave them some cash to leave him alone. Yeah, so? Well, he found out, and then get this, he got all upset and he called me a spoiled boy. Why? How do I know? He said he'd rather get bullied than have me help him. Mr. Spud shook his head in disbelief. Bob sounds a bit of a fool to me. The thing is, when you've got money like we do, you meet a lot of ungrateful people. I reckon you're better off without this Bob character. It sounds like he doesn't understand the importance of money. If he wants to be miserable, let him. Yeah, agreed Joe. You'll make another friend at school, son, said Mr. Spud. You're rich. People like that. The sensible ones, anyway. Not like this silly boy, Bob. I'm not so sure, said Joe. Not now everyone knows who I am. You will, Joe. Trust me, said Mr. Spud with a smile. The immaculately attired butler entered the dining room through the vast oak-panelled double doors. He did a little theatrical cough to get his master's attention. Miss Sapphire Stone, gentlemen. Mr. Spud swiftly put on his ginger toupee as page 3 stunner, Sapphire, clip-clopped into the room in her impossibly high heels. Sorry I'm late, I was just at the tanning salon, she announced. This was evident. Sapphire had fake tan smeared over every inch of her skin. She was now orange as an orange, if not orangier. Think of the orangiest person you've ever met, then times their orangeness by 10. As if she didn't look frightful enough already, she was wearing a lime green mini dress and clutching a shocking pink handbag. What's she doing here? Demanded Joe. Be nice, mouthed Dad. Nice pad, said Sapphire, looking round admiringly at the paintings and chandeliers. Thank you, it's just one of my 17 homes. Butler, please tell Chef what we want for our dinner. What are we having tonight? Foie gras, sir, replied the butler. What's that? Asked Mr. Spud. Specially fattened goose liver, sir. Sapphire grimaced. I'll just have a bag of crisps. Me too, said Joe. And me, said Mr. Spud. 3 packets of potato crisps coming right up, sir, sneered the butler. You look beautiful tonight, my angel, said Mr. Spud before approaching Sapphire for a kiss. Don't smudge my lip liner, said Sapphire as she repelled him forcefully with her hand. Mr. Spud was clearly a little hurt, but tried to hide it. Please take a seat. I see you brought the new Dior handbag I sent you. Yeah, but this bag comes in 8 colours, she complained. 1 for each day of the week. I thought you were going to buy me all 8. I will, my sweet princess, spluttered Mr. Spud. Oh dear, she doesn't sound all that nice, does she? Let's see what happens tomorrow. Hope you have a good day. Bye.